Tell us about your own and your club's performance today. It seemed to me to just get better as it went on.
Oh, of course, I think, like we said last season, we have to do better, we have to perform better every time. We always want to do better. So now this game is gone. We have a tough game away from home, where last season we won in the last couple of minutes. So we know from now we have to think game by game. The opponent, like I said in the interview before the game, the biggest rival the biggest contender for the title now for us is Southampton, because we play against them, and again, if we win against them, we are one step closer from winning something. If we lose against them, we are one step far away from winning something. So for us, it's about winning game by game, thinking game by game, because that is most important than thinking in what will happen in January, February. Who will be first, who will be second. That is not important. The important now is recovery and be ready for the next game.
Ollie, just tell us how that feels, because as first days go.
Yeah, you know, it creates a mood, and it sets the mood, of course, when you see the fans when we drive into the stadium today. You got the butterflies again, because suddenly there's a game that matters in front of your fans. We felt, of course, not obliged, but you know, there's extra responsibility because it's been so long without them. And when the players perform like this, produce, I think everyone can go home happily.
Now, we know last season, after the initial start, you got better at home, you got results, but could you see the difference, even on day one today, that the crowd makes?
Yeah, 100%. They mean so much for us. And, you know, when you're Bruno, you score a hat-trick here, and you can't go off on without 50, 60, 70,000 that are still in the stadium singing your name. Of course, that means a lot for players. They've got that self-esteem, and but to have that love from the fans, so important.
Apart from a 3-minute spell, was everything right today for you?
I couldn't have asked for more, that's for sure.
Bruno, hide your ball from your kids. They just take it, they play in the garden, they ruin it in no time, right, Alan? Absolutely true. A stunning display from Manchester United, and it was the midfield quartet in particular that impressed you.
Yeah, they look so fit and sharp, Gary, and the understanding of each other's roles in the team, I thought, was outstanding. The running off the ball, the finishing. Bruno and Pogba will rightly so get the headlines, but Fred and McTominay played their part in the team as well, whether it was tackling, whether it was finishing, as I said, running off the ball, the way to pass. It was superb, and the timing of the runs also. First of all, it was McTominay. He was allowed to get forward early on in the game. He gets in there, all right, it's a very, very good tackle, but forward thinking, as I said, and the first pass to go forward into that right position. Greenwood, who I thought was superb again all game. The pass into Pogba, it should be in the back of the net, but we'll forgive him because he gets 4 assists. I mean, look at this goal. McTominay into Pogba, Pogba into Fernandes. The way to pass, the touch is magnificent. It really is. There's the run off the ball. There's the ball in behind. And as I said, the touch with the right foot and the finish with the left foot. And Leeds just couldn't cope with it. If you thought the first pass was a good one, have a look at that one. Again, the run in behind. The timing is magnificent. Greenwood has a look at the goal. The keeper's got absolutely no chance, and what an incredible finish it was. Fernandes on the right-hand side. Again, the touch, the turn, the way to pass. He comes back in again onto his left foot. Goal line technology, thank you very much. But as I said, the understanding. What about this pass as well from Lindelof? But again, it's the timing of the run. Righty will look at it in more detail in a minute, and an exemplary finish once again. McTominay starts it. Pogba's on his bike, running in behind. This time it's Fred getting into the box. So all 4 of them, I thought, had a fantastic game. But Pogba 4 assists and Bruno a hat-trick. Wow, what a start for him, and what a start for Manchester United.
Well, he just carried on from where he's left off.
What about those stats, eh?
Yeah.
It's just superb.
Up there, right at the top. A few changes this season with the guidelines towards VAR. It seems to be a more welcome changes, more common sense approach, and towards offside as well, which we saw an example of that may have been offside last season.
Well, it would have been. But what's happening now? When the lines overlap, they're giving the benefit of the doubt to the striker. It was a brilliant run in the first place, but. You know, it's something that was annoying everybody. Everybody will benefit from this, but I can't, you know, when it overlaps like there, I can't see the difference there. So what we're seeing now is the benefit of the doubt.
Especially how it was, levels on side again.
Absolutely, and you know, like I said, it was a great finish, brilliant run from him. And like I said, everyone's going to benefit, and no VAR. We don't have to speak about it. It's brilliant.
I think without giving too much away, it was a much better performance from all the officials today in every game, and it worked perfectly.
Perfect.
Okay.
You know, if there's one negative of having the fans back is that you can't hear the players in their post-match interviews. I mean, but we managed to get some information from both Mason Greenwood and Bruno Fernandes. But Paul, I asked you at full time during the break. Everything came together today on an opening day victory, and in some style. You're getting a little bit excited, aren't you, on the back of that? You know, if there's one negative of having the fans back is that you can't hear the players in their post-match interviews. I mean, but we managed to get some information from both Mason Greenwood and Bruno Fernandes. But Paul, I asked you at full time during the break. Everything came together today on an opening day victory, and in some style. You're getting a little bit excited, aren't you, on the back of that?
It's hard not to. When you see a performance like that, the first game of the season, and when you've seen United teams over the last 6-7 years, it's not always been as exciting as what we've seen now.
Yeah.
One thing I would say, when Liverpool won the league for the first time, when City won the league for the first time, you felt them coming. You felt like the year before, the 2 years before, they're ready to win the league. I didn't really get that impression last year. I just wondered if it's going to be that kind of year where they're coming and next year might be the year. I don't know. It's hard to say because we haven't seen the rest of the teams yet. It's the first game of the season. But you can be nothing but excited by what we've seen today and what's to come with the rest of the squad.
And, Roy, if Paul is quite close to those at Old Trafford, I suppose, from your perspective, from the outside and with your managerial experience, is there a reason for that optimism after today?
Oh, I thought that was an excellent point, you know, that you do see teams coming, I think, and I think they are building up to this. The quality of the signings will definitely help, the strengthening of the bench, which Paul has mentioned on several occasions. But the fact is there's a lot of good quality players out there. There's no doubt about that. So, you know, any faults that they might make along the way, tactically, things that might not go 100% for them, they've got so many people who can dig them out of the hole. That's the big question. If you've got Fernandes, if you've got Pogba, if you've got people like Maguire at the back, you've got the pace they've got at the front. Basically, even when they're not doing well, they're still a massive threat. And I think if you're going to win leagues, that's how it's got to be. But I think also that although his coaching staff will be quite keen to keep the teamwork going, keep the team structure, maybe making slight improvements along the way there, if they're going to really threaten the Man Cities and the Liverpools and the Chelseas, who I do think have an exceptionally good team structure alongside some pretty good individuals.
Yeah. The man making the headlines tomorrow, no doubt, will be Bruno Fernandes after his opening day hat-trick. The quality of the finishing is what stood out particularly, Paul.
Yeah, I think the first one was a little bit fortunate. I think the goalkeeper's a little bit unlucky, but the quality of play was brilliant. The movement from Fernandes was great to start with. Off Cock in central midfield, great bit of quality from Pogba, as Roy said, that little pass around the corner. Not many people see that and can do that. He can, and he does get a little bit of luck, I suppose, but it's on his left-hand side, his weaker side, and all he's thinking about is getting this shot on target, and he's got a chance. And luckily enough for him, it just ricochets under the keeper.
This was his second goal. He just somehow managed to squeeze this one in. I mean, there was a whole load of bodies in front of him, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. It's a great bit of play again from Pogba. Lovely weight of pass there. You think the chance has gone there.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of skill disguised on the shot. He sends the defender and the goalkeeper down. And then there is a little bit of fortune there to get it through. Almost three bodies there, and Hailing just too late. Plays off the line. But again, great quality. And as Roy said, it's a number 10. He doesn't want to just build up play and create goals. He wants to get in the box, and he's desperate to score goals as well.
His movement here was more like a 9, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, and I think they swapped that all day long, really. I think between him and Greenwood, playing the 9 and 10, I thought it worked perfectly well. And his movement, again, very close to offside. Possibly last year it could have been. Yeah,
well, that's the official word, actually. Very interesting. If that goal was scored last season, that would have been ruled out for offside. But the Lions, of course, they're using them to measure the offside-onside ruling. But they were overlapping, so advantage this season is given to the attacking side. And I suppose that's what we want, isn't it? Because we want those goals to be rewarded.
Yeah, rightly so, I think. I think last year there was too much drama made over little, you know, toenails, armpits, whatever it was, and there was no fuss there. Look, it was close to being offside, we know that. But anyway, let's talk about the movement. The finish as well was fantastic, and you know, what a start to the season for Fernandes.
Paul Pogba got himself 4 assists today, so interesting as far as he was concerned. And of course, he teed up Mason Greenwood for his first goal of the season. Paul mentioned this earlier, actually, Roy. I suppose it deserves repeating, is that when you've got a player of his ilk and of his age to get off the mark on the opening day, that is what will please Solskjaer most.
Absolutely. I mean, that's great pace. He's still got a lot to do there. He's a long run, a long bursting run, really, to keep his eye on the ball, to know where the goal is, and then to concentrate on his technique and striking the ball as he does. That's just good quality centre-forward play, there's no doubt about it.
That wasn't the end of it, though, Paul, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, I'm really pleased with Fred as well. Runs off his midfield man. I'm sure Bielsa won't be happy with Click, I think it was, who he runs off. But no, he's had a lot of criticism, and for him to join in and get a goal like that is, you know, I'm really pleased with him, because he does a lot of hard work in that midfield. He breaks the play down, gives it to the players who are more creative. So I think he deserved that, and let's hope this season's a lot better for him.
Yeah, unbelievably, for Paul Pogba, he managed 3 Premier League assists the whole of last season. He's managed 4 on the opening day. And that bodes well for a player who, even to this moment, is future at Old Trafford looks a little bit uncertain still. He's into his final year.
Yeah, I suppose it does. I think he'll stay.
Do you?
Yeah, I think he will, yeah. When he's playing, maybe a couple of years ago or last year, in a team that wasn't quite functioning as well as this one looks like it might do, with the amount of attacking players he's got, the ability he's got, I think he'll add a lot to this team. I think he'll end up signing a new contract with, if this team carries on in this manner, progressing like it is, I think I don't want to get too excited, but it's a team that can go on and win trophies, and that's what he wants to do.
You're allowed to get excited now. From a manager's perspective, no doubt Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will just want to temper expectations right now.
Yes, I think he'll understand as well the point I made earlier. This is an expansive game. You know, Leeds are an expansive team. They can cause you a lot of problems with their expansive play, but if you're able to deal with their play and get control of the ball, and if you can get turned as often as United did today in the midfield, there was some fantastic play for the midfield players when they were being fed the balls, getting turned with the ball and then attacking that space in front of the back four. Well, if you've got the ability to do that, and as a team playing against them, you find Pogba on the ball behind your midfield, you find Fernandes on the ball behind your midfield, you start to worry, because if they're going to make the runs they did today, the ball's going to be fed in. Right. And then you just hope, I suppose, if you give them that many other chances, they're going to miss them. But they didn't look like missing today.
No, they certainly didn't.
There's one of the goals which really highlights one of my pet hates, and that's the one I think that Fernandes scores, which is allowed on the sort of the goal line technology rule. Seeing the defender who's trying to defend it with his hands behind his back, I mean, that really does drive me crazy. I do not understand how we can expect defenders to defend and keep their balance if they're running with their hands behind their back.
Yeah.
Can you do an instant analysis on that game after that result? It's not easy.
No, not really. Then I can't really. We hold tight first half, a bit of a bad first goal, and then we kind of get back into it, and then we score a goal, and then I think we're 3-1 down. Then before we can even get our breaths back. So no, not really. Then it all happened a bit quick, and then we'll go back and then see what happened, and then try and then get right for the next game.
I mean, it was a wonderful goal, but of course, in the grand scheme of things, the fact that you got on terms, we thought that game on now. I just got away. Yeah, then like the same Russ, then we said at half time, then keep it tight and try and get forward a bit more and try and create our own chances. And then like some people might say we scored too early in the second half, but yeah, just really. Then a really poor 5 minutes, which then just cost us the game against a good team like that. Then once spaces are there for them to go into, they've got quick players and really good players, so then it's always going to be difficult. Do you feel there was a sort of lift with the fact that this place was 72,000 United fans?
Yeah, then I know it's a bad result for us, but then it's great to see the fans back in here. Then like in stadiums this weekend, and but then I suppose certainly can't wait to get back to our place next weekend.
Well, true, maybe the same impact, but you've got a few chins to pick off the floor this week, haven't you, before the game?
Yeah, look, then we've been beat here last year, so then it's nothing new to us, and then we come back from that and done alright at the end of the season. So we'll go back, then we'll have a look at it, then we'll get a few players back in the team, then a few lads that come late back from internationals and so what, and then we'll go again.
Thanks, Luke.
Cheers, thank you.
Ironically, in some ways, it was his goal that made the game a bit more difficult for Leeds. I mean, Rio looked at me and went, they've just poked the bear, and they had. But let's take nothing away from that strike. It was quite a strike.
Is that standard with a lovely view right behind it? He just picks up this position. You know, he hasn't scored many, Alien, but he's had that touch there, takes out of his feet, and that strike was so sweet. Forward with his laces, I think it just clipped the inside of the post. But we had a beautiful angle. What a strike that was.
If you're nitpicking about Man United, Pogba will probably think I could have done a bit more positioning. If I got into a position early, he probably doesn't get the chance to shoot, but you can't take nothing away from him. What a strike.
Let's talk about where this leaves Leeds United then. There's no doubt it's a really difficult way to start the season, but up next for them, they've got a go. Hey, well played, by the way.
Hey, perfect. Take risks.
Well done.
Hey, good luck.
The way that Leeds will go about their business at home is going to be very different. They've got Everton next. It's going to be at Ellen Road. It's going to be a full house. You know how it feels to play there in white. That will be a different story.
I can't believe that Bruno Fernandes has banged a hat-trick in and he's continued talking about Leeds and he's come over and said hello.
I know.
Wow.
Because he's gone again.
No, Leeds, listen, I don't think this changes anything for them. I think we saw last season, like you said, Man United beat them 6-2 here last year. They still continue to play the way they do. On the front foot, other teams aren't going to be able to deal with that pressure. Man United today, the class, the quality of Bruno, of Paul Pogba, Mason Greenwood, just put them a level above. When Man United matched them physically, the class then was something.
So I asked you about Leeds and you've managed to talk about Manchester United.
That's what you do.
I think the Leeds team are actually like tailor-made to bounce back because of the way they play. You're never going to get Bielsa's not going to go the lads on Monday or Tuesday. Right, lads, this is what we're going to do at Ellen Road. We're going to back off and we're going to play on a counter. He'll just do what he does, and the lads know that, so that it's easy for them to bounce back. They've done it before. I think next week we'll be rocking at Ellen Road.
I don't worry about the Leeds team in terms of mentality and setting themselves up for the next game coming. I haven't seen them have big hangovers where there's a lot of defeats that just follow each other. They get a defeat, they brush themselves down, go again.
Look, they lost here 6-2, didn't they, last season? How did they finish the season? 4 wins on the bounce.